There we go. There we go. All right. And then last, tell me something good. Mariah, what do you got for us? Or you say you have something, Tom?
I do now.
I thought you said something.
It works when you work it. Went to an open house, it was raining, had no one show up, no one at all. And then I went to another open house the next weekend in the same area and had got 3 buyers out of it. Not working with an agent, needing a lender, all following the steps, getting pre-qualified. So you never know. You just have to keep putting yourself out there, putting yourself out there. If it doesn't seem to work, it's still working.
There you go. Yeah, just celebrate the action, not the results.
Yeah.
Mariah, what do you got?
Okay, so as most of you probably know who have kids, there's a huge shortage right now for high school teachers and middle school teachers. So my school that my kids are going to, they ask for parent volunteers to come help and teach any class that helps with any type of crafts or skills to help you in the real world. So I volunteered to teach real estate and investing to middle schoolers and high schoolers. A lot of them want to become real estate agents after they graduate. So that's going to help with my downline.
For sure.
Yes, exactly. But there's a huge shortage. So if you guys are interested in something like that, give me a call. All you have to do is get live scanned into the system. You have to do fingerprints and get approved for that. Most high schools and middle schools are taking any volunteers right now to help with these types of classes because we do not have enough teachers in the country right now. So huge opportunity there, and our school system needs it and our kids need help. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So how can they reach out to you to learn more?
My phone number is 916-955-3553.
There we go. And it's M-I-R-A-H.
M-A-R-I-A-H. There we go.
I can barely spell my name. So awesome. All right. Anybody online have any tell me something good they want to share? All right, I just want to make sure you're feeling the love on there. Give me a thumbs up if you're awake. Okay, you're all asleep. You got something, Eric?
So I work with Brent on the podcast, and we have 2 podcast guests recently in the room. Rodney and Barry are our last 2 weeks. So you guys want to check out their podcast, brentgove.com, and then go look for podcasts, and you guys can listen to those, share those with your organization. And they're really, really good interviews.
Speaking of Rodney, what do you got? What's happening in the wonderful world of loans?
Well, it's still great. Tons of programs. If your buyer wants to get a loan, there's a loan for them to do it. Might not be the easiest sometimes, but there is a loan for them to do it. Rates today kind of jumped back up, breaking the trend from where we were last week. We're about 6.4. Last week we were hovering just over, and we actually did break under 6 down to in the 5.9 last week before it turned back around due to a jobs report. Jobs came in stronger than expected. And I personally like 2.5 times. So it's way off. I think that that'll be adjusted, and we'll see that, kind of fall back because the rates are they're just going to start dropping back, in my opinion. So, I'm putting together a report, and I'll put it on the team page, because this is what I want you guys to be able to share with your clients, right? And I'm doing calculations on it right now, and it just didn't get it done. Prices, the average price has dropped, right? There's a seasonality to it, and I'll address all that in the report that I put out. But I want you guys to be able to use this and address this. There's a seasonality to it, but there's the raw number to it. And I want you to be able to explain that. But what it all gets down to, and if you can understand this, you'll understand it all. When they qualify for buying that house, are they qualifying to buy that house, or are they qualifying to buy a payment? They're qualifying to buy a payment, which gets them to that house. Their income didn't change, their debts didn't change in a perfect scenario, right? So whether we're talking about February 22 or February 23, that same borrower, maybe they got a small, likely raise, right? So it should be in the positive. But what changed is the interest rate component. When you put that into the factor that they were trying to qualify for, and I'm going to put, and you can call me, reach out to me, I'll give you a custom version for your client base. If your client's $2,500 a month or $3,000 a month monthly payment, right? 35, whatever you want it to be, I'll do that for you. So what happens is that they qualify for that payment at an interest rate at 3%. Actually, I think in February last year, it was 3.71. So when they qualify for that, that made them qualify for a $700,000 house, for example. Today, they have the same exact matrix themselves. right? You understand with their income, their expenses and their debts, all that, they have that same thing. But with today's interest rate, when it hits 7%, today it's not that, but just for the illustration.
Different payment.
No, it's the same payment because they only qualify for the same payment. That's what I want you to make sure you understand. They qualify
for
for
the same payment with a higher interest rate.
because that's what they qualify for. They qualify for that payment.
Biggest part for less.
What changes is the purchase price. So the purchase price went down, doesn't mean that same house that they qualified for at 700,000 is now 600,000. It's not. That 700,000 did not drop 100 grand. What they qualify for and what's reported is the median price sale. It's very confusing and easy to get misled on, but you got to convey that to your clients that the housing market is not in a free fall, right? Does that make sense?
100%.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
So I'll give you some charts and graphs. Yes.
And where are we at with mortgage applications?
Mortgage applications actually is a lagging indicator that comes in of like a week late. And when rates drop, applications start going up. So there is an affordability component to it. There's seasonality to that as well. I was reading something yesterday that they anticipate between, depending on the economists, $1 to $2 trillion worth of loan volume this year. We were at a market of 11 to 12 trillion, which is elevated when rates are super low. The normal is around 4 to 5 trillion. So obviously there is a huge slowdown going on.
Sure.
And that's new origination. What I'm seeing and hearing a whole lot more is, hey, how do I take this subject to? How do I, wrap this loan? How do I basically be creative and keep that lower rate, but my buyer or, the seller needs to move on and blah, blah, blah. So I'm busy helping structure deals in that regard as well. So that's where maybe some of that slowdown is not necessarily real estate transactions slowing down as much as the new mortgage money coming in slowing down.
I mean, when you say rates are going to be going down, are you talking over a 6-month period, 3-month period, like a year?
I think all year long.
All year?
All year long.
Steady decline?
Yeah, the big key component that they're really monitoring is the job employment index sort of thing. Because if employers basically have to fight to hire someone, meaning pay them more, everything goes up, right?
Yeah.
And you said that you make a report every week, or
I'll make one. I'm working on a custom one right now to kind of just encapsulate what I just said.
Okay.
That I'll share, and then you can use that. Because I want everyone to know that the market's not falling down, right?
Right.
It's a shift on the house they got, which happens to be lower because that's all the payment with today's interest rate going in. And as interest rates lower, more people will come, and the affordability complex into that sort of scenario.
Okay.
So that house market didn't fall.
You know what? I just got what you said.
I know.
We're running short on time though, folks.
Yeah.
So if you want to reach out to Rodney, what's the best way for them to get the report and talk to you more about like all that?
916-223-2775 is my cell phone. You can call, text, whatever, and I'd be happy to explain it better. I want to be able to explain it super simply. But also because it's really important, right? We're fighting the media in this, and I have these conversations with Ryan like this, and I love Ryan, right? But he's coming from a different angle. He's on the supply side. I'm on the demand side, right? And I am an ex-appraiser as well, and I understand the whole thing. So I'm trying to explain it in a language that you can explain to your clients with charts and graphs. That look, the house didn't fall down. This is all they qualify for. So it's more of these being sold, and that's what's really being reported because that's what's being sold.
100%.
Right?
100%. All right. So big round of applause for Ron and Market update. Contact info up there. Let's get to. We have a very special guest. She, believe it or not, it was so hard to connect with this person because they operate out of Australia. She's here locally, but raise your hand if you've ever heard of Box Brownie before.
Yeah.
Right. Fantastic. Game changer. She's going to share with us some new strategies and techniques and some new tech that's rolling out from Box Brownie. So Daniela, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for creating this space. I'm so excited to see all of you in one place and seeing all your faces and to hear that you're all familiar with boxbrownie.com. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that we can start the presentation. So let's take a look here and it should be up and running. All right. Yeah. So today I am here because I want to talk to you about something really, really exciting that we have coming up. And you're actually one of the first groups that were given a presentation of this. So you are one of the first to give it a try. We have just released our new app called Snap, 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 powered by boxbrownie.com. And this app basically, it turns your phone into a professional camera. So before we go into details, I'm going to leave you right there with that cliffhanger for a minute. We're going to talk a little bit of what the landscape for photography is nowadays. So I know that you usually hire professional photographers to go out into your properties, but that you sometimes have to go yourself and take photos of the property. Is this right? Raise your hands if this is correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Perfect. So let me ask you something else. How many of you use your phones when you have to do this? Raise hands again if you're using your phone to take these pictures. And also in the chat, if anyone wants to participate, please send it. So I think most of us, yes, I can see some hands coming up. I think most of you are using your phones, and this is because nowadays our camera phones are incredible. The technology in there is super powerful, and we've actually heard in the last year from some of the biggest brands in the photography industry that there's a possibility that in a few years, cell phone cameras are going to completely replace DSLR or professional cameras. I don't know how I personally feel about this, but I can see how that is a possibility because the technology really is amazing how it has evolved. If we take a look at the evolution since we started looking at iPhone cameras up until today, the quality of images has improved dramatically. And it's not only, the fact that the resolution is great, it's also that it captures colors better, textures better. So you're really getting high quality photos just right there in your pocket. And with technology advancing and changing, the world does too. The world changes, it evolves, and we all have to adjust to that, including the real estate industry. So long were the days where you would market your properties in the newspaper with maybe a black and white photo if you were lucky. Now we have MLSs, we have Instagram, social media, we have so many platforms and so many ways to upload as many photos that we want. We can do video, we can do floor plans, virtual tours, you name it, we can do it. So we saw the potential in this, and we realized that there is an opportunity to harness the power of property market and put it into your phone, into your pocket. So that's what Snap, Snap, Snap is all about. Now, that doesn't mean that professional photographers are going to be obsolete by any means. The skill and the knowledge that they have is incredibly valuable. But the truth is that sometimes it's not as convenient. Not everyone has the time or the resources to hire a professional photography. So what we wanted to do is make sure that everyone has access to quality photography, because the truth be told, that's one of the most important things in a home buyer's process when they're searching for homes. They want to see good photos. So we want you to be able to deliver those amazing photos every single time without, having to go through any problems and making your life a little bit easier. So Snap, Snap, Snap. Let's talk a little bit more about it. This is going to change the way that you market your property. We're incredibly proud about this app. We've been working on it for a few years, and we're finally ready to share it to the world. And I'm excited that you guys are going to be some of the first to test it out. So basically, let's talk a little bit about what Box Brownie does. You're already familiar, but just a quick recap in case anyone doesn't remember or needs a refreshment. We are a photo editing and virtual staging company, but we have a focus on visual property marketing. So we have all the edits you need to create amazing content and put it out there so that you get traction on your listings and you're selling properties faster for better money, all the while saving money and making your life a little bit easier. We've been very, very blessed because we've had the chance to travel all over the world, going to different events in the real estate industry, and we've talked to many, many professionals. The one thing that they all have in common is they are looking for those tools and those resources that are going to save them money and make their lives and jobs a little bit easier without compromising the quality of what they're doing. So that's where we come from. We have listened and we have learned what people want, and we have combined our ability to create great technology and groundbreaking technology with our passion and our knowledge for good photography, and we've created this amazing thing that you'll see right now. So I'm talking a lot about the app. So what is it? What does it actually do? Basically, you can take professional photos. We're going to the technical details in a little bit, but with this app, you can go into a property, set it on a tripod, you shoot your photos, upload them to our website, get them edited, and then that's it. In a few hours, you'll get them back. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need any special knowledge. You don't need to worry about downloading, transferring photos. Simply, you edit your photos all in one go, get them back in 24, 48 hours, depending on the edits that you choose. And you have a few ones that we've included in this app for you to use. So now going into a little bit more detail. How does this magic happen? What is the difference when you take a photo just using your phone versus using the app? So it's very, very simple. What the app does is that it maximizes the technology that's already in your phone. So we use a combination of the iPhone's camera algorithm with our own. So for every shot that you take through the app, the camera is going to take about 45 to 70 photos, and then those photos are going to be condensed into 5 to 7 photos that look a little bit like this. Those 5 to 7 photos are going to be different exposures. It's going to be one very, very bright one and one very, very dark one, and everything in between. And what this does is that it creates a high dynamic range. That is called HDR. That's a professional technique that photographers use. So when you have those properties that you have not a great light situation, maybe you have a big window, so the outside is very overexposed and then the inside is too dark and it just doesn't look great. That's what photographers use to get a perfect shot that looks a little bit like this. So now you have a perfect shot where everything is exposed, everything is, all the details are there, you can tell everything. And you don't have to worry about that anymore because the app does it for you in one click. So you can forget all that I just said and just focus on taking your photo. Just click and you'll have a perfect photo in just a few seconds. So obviously it's amazing. Are there any questions so far? I'm going to keep going into more detail, but I just want to check if there's any questions, any comments up to this point.
Does
Nope.
this all work on?
Oh yeah, does
All
it
right.
work on Android or is it just iPhone?
Right now, it's just for iPhone. I'm going to tell you all the details on how to download and just get it. Hopefully soon we'll get it to Android, but for now, it's just for iPhone. So I'm going to continue. We've already talked about the photography part of it, but let's talk about the marketing part of it. As we know, boxbrownie.com has a wide
No, we're
range.
just seeing. Sorry, Nate, I don't know if you heard it,
Yeah.
but some wiseacre in the room said this app is only for professionals. That's why it's iPhone.
It's for everyone. You just need to get an iPhone, but soon we'll have it for Android. I hope so. I have an Android myself, so I really want to test it out on my phone. I've only been able to test it out in some another phone, so soon we'll get it there. But yes, I'll continue with the presentation right here. So we include a few of our most popular edits in the app so that you can try it. So you're not only doing the professional photography part of it, you're also including other marketing tools into your toolkit, into your phone. So you can combine this edits. We have the image enhancement, item removal, virtual staging, and beta dust. You can see an example of how that process would look like. You take your beautiful single photo with the phone. You can use image enhancement to improve it and make it look nice and beautiful. Item removal to remove any clutter or furniture that's there, and then have it virtually staged, get it back within 48 hours. And you didn't even have to turn on your computer to do this. You did it all in one go from your phone. So you can even do it from your car after shooting the property. I think that's pretty amazing, and it's going to save some time and some hassle. So the app itself, it's completely free to download. You don't have to pay any subscriptions or anything like that. You just have to go to the App Store and download it. Again, I'll give more details on this at the end of the presentation. But the great thing about it too is that you are getting access to the same team that we have available when you go through the website. So it's going to go through the same editing team, the same customer service team. So you're getting all the benefits of boxbrownie.com, but you don't have to go to the website. You can do it through the phone. You can have access to your jobs and to your photos to your phone, so you can access it on the go whenever you need to, which is great. And of course, you have the 24/7 customer service available for you at all times. So you just have to give us a call or go on the live chat, and they'll help you with that process. So let's talk a little bit about the edits that are included in this app. And I'm sure that since you're familiar with Box Brownie, you're familiar with most of this edit, so I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I just want to do a little recap. So first one, image enhancement. This is going to be your best friend if you want to really elevate the look of your photos. There's a stigma around photo editing. Sometimes people think that you shouldn't do it, or no, the photo looks fine like that. The truth is that couldn't be further from the truth. Cameras don't capture light, colors, and textures the same way that our eyes see them in reality. So photo editing is just as important as the taking the photo. So we want to make sure that when we take a photo, we edit it to bring back any of the information that might have been lost in that process. So that's what image enhancement does. We're going to bring back the colors, the textures, fix the lights, fix the shadows, and create a beautiful image like this one. We know that professional photos are proven to sell listings 15% faster and get more views. So we want to make sure that our photos are going to be the best they possibly can be. Then we have our virtual staging. This is our baby. I think this is our most popular edit. Everyone knows our virtual staging for the quality, the pricing, the great turnaround times, and now you have it in your phone. So we add 3D models and CGI technology to create beautiful staged homes like this one, and help you sell those properties faster, help your potential buyers connect to the space. And again, you can do it now by just using your phone. Then we have our data dust. I love the data dust. I think it's probably one of my favorite edits that we do. It's a very simple one. Has anyone here ever tried data dust? Can you raise your hand if you ever used it?
I have.
Yes, I love it. You all get 20 points. I love it. This is a great, I don't know if you're aware, but having a data dust photo in your listing is actually proven to generate 4 times more clicks. So you're getting 4 times the interaction and 4 times the leads into your listing by just adding a data dust photo, which is only $4. So it's really a no-brainer to include this in your marketing plan. So we can make it easier with a twilight conversion in your phone. Moving on to the last but not least edit that we have, the item removal. I really like talking about this because whenever I do, people's eyes light up. I'm sure that you've all gone to these properties where you have a messy clutter space and you don't have time to deal with that. So we do it for you. You just send us a photo. You'll be able to mark up what it is that you want to remove from the app and tell us, hey, please remove all this stuff, and we'll take care of that for you in just a few hours. So your home will be ready for marketing. All right. So we've talked about all the edits, and I'm going to show you some befores and afters taken all with an iPhone and using the app so that you see the effects that it has. So feel free at this time. I'm going to try to shut up for a little bit, and I'm going to let you guys just observe the photos. And if you have any questions, raise your hands and let me know, and we'll get those answered.
My hands out.
Well, I got a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
It looks like you're taking professional photos and making professional photos better professional photos, in my opinion.
Better.
So I'm sorry, but I'm a big skeptic on this. Like your guys' normal product, I love your normal product, right? The idea of agents going to houses with their phones and taking pictures of them. I mean, we literally go through and like break people apart on their listings online because they've done that and they're so horrible.
This way, right?
So when it's like the idea of we're making what looks like you're showing us professional photos, better professional photos, which they look great, but they look professional.
Right.
Where I'm trying to see, like, I would love to see crap turned into not crap. That's what we see on, and that's where when we coach people, it's like, don't do this with your iPhone, please, because it looks like crap, and you're selling a $500,000 house.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I asked Danielle to speak and try to cater her presentation to our audience, it's not that we're trying to get rid of professional photos, but sometimes you get the client, they're like, hey, you didn't get the picture of the HOA. Like, I really want to pull the picture. Are you going to pay $400 to bring your photographer back out there, or are you going to do it? So that's what this is intended. That's how I see us using this. Right?
Exactly.
I just downloaded the app and I logged in and it didn't carry over my credits that I had from Box Brownie. Are they 2 separate companies? Like, is it just going, okay, so it should carry over my credits then?
It's the same thing. So when you're ready to submit the photos themselves, it should deduct automatically from the credits that you already have available in your account. And I just want to add to, the previous comment. I'm a photographer myself. That's how I started. I'm a professional photographer, so I know firsthand that cell phones won't replace the role of a photographer. This is just another tool that you have in your arsenal when you don't have access to that. So like Johnny was mentioning, he did let me know that you guys sometimes have to go out and take those photos yourself and take that last minute one. So now you can take it at this same level instead of, struggling maybe to take it with your phone. So it's another option that you guys have to really make sure that your business is on top every single time.
Absolutely.
Yep. More questions?
Yeah, does it matter if the photo is taken as a portrait or a landscape?
No, it doesn't matter. The thing with portrait and landscape, that's a big debate that we have going on. When it comes to real estate photography, I would always advise use landscape. You always want to make sure that you use landscape because that's going to be the best way. That doesn't mean that you're not going to do portrait. You just have to choose very carefully when you do portrait. We also do a lot of courses in how to help people photograph with their phones and give them tips on photography. So I'm happy to help in that sense if anyone has any questions. But you can totally use it, portrait, landscape. The important thing is that if you have a tripod, it's best, the results are going to be better if you have a tripod. So you would just have to set the phone on your tripod the way that you want it. All right. Any more questions? Still
One more question. You guys are already so reasonable and you do the work. Like if I send a photo in and, somebody just couldn't get their counter cleaned off and I need stuff removed, one of those things. So what is the cost? Like, what's the benefit? Do you know what I'm saying? Like I usually send mine off to you and within 24 hours, I get it back with $10 maybe.
Yeah. Well, the prices are going to remain the same with the app. So the prices don't change. The app is completely free to download. So all you're going to have to do is pay for the editing that you have. Now, the benefit is that instead of having to wait maybe to download your photos, put them into your computer, go into the website and all that stuff, you can simply do it through your phone and just have that all in one go. And you have the added benefit that if you take the photos with the app, those photos are going to be professional and high quality photos. They're going to look gorgeous. So yeah, that's what the app is kind of for, to make your lives a little bit easier, help you save some time and save you some of the hassle of having to transfer photos, download files and all that.
Great.
I hope that answered the question.
Yes,
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, we got time for one more. This is the last question, Clark.
Actually, it's not a question, but a comment. I just want to, we saw the EXPCon and saw the whole Box Brownie had a custom listing, a luxury property. The buyer went through, it's a 2-story. He really didn't have, his knees were hurt, really couldn't be on the upper story. One is office on the bottom story. It was a living room, living room. We had Box Brownie remove the living room furniture and set it up as an office, and I believe it really helped sell the property.
Good.
This was really well, and you kept bringing up that photo as we're going through the transaction.
Oh, I love that story. That's a great, and that's one of the benefits of photo editing and the virtual staging itself. It's a great way to help people visualize a space and connect to it. So maybe someone, your buyer doesn't want an office, a basement, they want an office, or they want a game room, or they want a gym. So you can show them what they can do with a space with just, show them a virtually staged photo. So that's a great option. And I know that we're running out of time. I wish that we could stay for a little bit longer and answer as many questions. My email is right there. So if anyone has questions, please feel free to reach out. I'll make sure that that gets through to you. So anyone, if you have questions or comments or stories, go ahead and reach out. If you want to download the app and test it, you need to go to the App Store. You can search Snap, Snap, Snap or boxbrownie.com and it's going to pop right up. But if you just take 1 second to scan that code, and I know that probably you all have your phones in your pocket, so you can bring them up and scan that code on the screen. It's going to take you directly to the App Store. So I'm going to give that a few minutes. And as I told you, this is one of the first presentations that we're making. You're going to get to try this, be one of the first people to test it out. So we would love to hear what you have to say, your feedback, your comments, if you want to share a testimonial. So if anyone wants to try that out, again, feel free to reach out, let me know, and I can make something happen. I could give you some free credit so that you can test it and we can have a conversation about that. So I want to thank everyone for your time, for your comments, for your interaction with me. I'm very happy that we made this happen. And I think that's it for me today.
Well, thank you so much for hopping on and speeding through the presentation.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Can you guys use this in your real estate business? Is this something you'll be using?
Yes,
okay,
definitely.
good. Fantastic. All right. Well, Danielle, thank you so much. Take care and talk soon.
Thank you. Yeah, sure thing. Enjoy
All right,
the rest of the
everybody.
meeting. Bye-bye.
Bye. So we have the next speaker, needs no introduction. He's the guy that started this in 1999 when, who was president in 99? Many presidents ago.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt was president in 99. Anyways, please welcome to the front of the room, Mr. Brent Gove.
It might have been George Washington, Napoleon. You know, I was thinking while we were doing this, I got in real estate in the middle of a market correction in 1996 and 97. And for 2 years, all I showed was boarded up HUD homes. That's all I sold for 2 years. They were boarded up and the commissions were 5%. How many like get 5% instead of 2.5 or 3? I'm like, well, that's another reason why I focused on that. And, but they were all 50, 60, 70,000 a house. I did a few higher end properties at 88, 95,000. And then after 2 years, I broke into the luxury market. I sold a 5-acre, 3,000 square foot horse property in Orangeville, white split rail fence, pasture, little barn for their one horse, and the sprinklers across the pasture, pool, palm trees, 128,000. I'm like, I think at 5%, I think it was like $6,000 commission or something. I'm like, $6,000. I've never seen money like this. It was so awesome. And I go, I can do this 2 or 3 times a month. I'm like, is this even legal? But so here's the deal. That was really cool and a useful tool, you know, you can use. Like we've all had a homeowner go, you didn't get a picture of the tough shed. I want the tough shed in the picture. You can call your photographer back out and they may or may not charge you. You can run out, stick a pic up to there. I've also seen a lot of pictures around like Tahoe or Folsom or Elbert Hills, and the sky is so beautiful. Now you can make that happen, $4. So that was a great deal. But here's the deal. You can see all these really cool things, but it gets down to this. You got to master lead generation. That is your issue. It's not box brownie. That's super cool. It's not what Ryan says, right? It's you can understand disclosures. You can know the contract backwards and forwards, but you must master lead generation. That's why we have a home inspector here today. My good friend is here. Tim, how do you say that? Coddington. He's a home inspector from BPG Home Inspections, and a friend of my dad's, and just an awesome man. But if you need a home inspection, we look out for each other. Do you want someone to look out for you? Look out for each other. Look out for other people. And so, Tim, shout out to you. One of the things he educated me on today as we were out in the hallways, that did you know that the hot water, what do you call them?
Tankless hot water heaters.
Thank you. Tankless hot water heaters. Look at that smile, man. I want to give you a home inspection right now. Just come inspect mine, just for the hell of it. But so I didn't know this. You know they need to be cleaned every year. I did not know that. I would have left it for 20 years. And so and you wonder why the water's not so hot anymore. There's things that build up inside of it and it gets cooler and cooler. You get that hot steamy shower. So he's starting a new company where they're actually, what are you doing to the tankless hot water heater?
Well, it's called descaling a hot water heater, tankless hot water heater. And you can do it on your own as a DIY project. But what my company will want to do is take the burden of learning it, buying the tools, and storing the tools from year to year as you need them. And we'll just do it really inexpensively as a service to folks that have
awesome
new tools.
What do you charge for a home inspection on, say, a 4,000 square foot home? Between 4,000 and 5,000. Roughly. How about a normal home? Start there. 1,800 square feet, 3, 4, 2. Just give me an idea of what you charge.
I've recently dropped my prices. So, for 2,000 square foot home, it's below $500. And that includes the crawl.
So how about a 4 to 5?
Roughly 5, we add $65 for every 1,000 square feet.
So it's going to be another $110 to $160. Okay, I am going to have you come. I have a brand new home, but did you guys know that brand new homes, the air conditioning ducts sometimes aren't hooked up and they're blowing cold air in your attic? I've seen that. I've seen the fireplaces, the flume isn't connected. You're ready to have a chimney fire. I've seen carbon monoxide detectors fail. So he's going to test that. And I have not had my home tested. Can I hire you and pay you full price to come do my house?
Absolutely.
Right on. Honey, call this man. Hey, take this man.
Jim, what's your phone number? So we can put it in the chat.
916-407-1158.
All right, next thing. Who had a birthday in the month of February? Because we're only a few months in. What was the date?
The 4th.
The 4th.
It's the 19th.
Not doesn't count. You're not there yet. Okay. The 4th. Today's what? The
9.
Anybody else here have a birthday? All right. This is for you, my man. And it's not one of those fake business cards. And it says, welcome for a barbecue party. The real deal.
Are you gonna be back in September?
So next, let me ask you a question. Who here right now is facing some significant challenges in your life? Raise your hand. Boom, I saw your hand first. So I'm going to give you, be a circle maker, learn the solution to 10,000 problems. It's this thick. This book has sold so many copies, I can't even tell you. It's called Be a Circle Maker, and it's by Mark Batterson. Learn the solution to 10,000 problems. Instead of reading 500 pages, it's not that thick, and it's pretty cool. So there's your book there. You bet. Okay, next. Who here, you've struggled with self-doubt and thinking big, and you go, man, I got to think bigger. I got to act different. Who here really wants to go to the next level in your business? Boom, I saw your hand first. So now you can think that you got to be quick on the draw. So this book is one of the first books I've ever read in my life when I was 19. So I think George Washington penned it. And there's over 6 million copies printed. It takes, I think, 50,000 to be a bestseller. So this would be about 80 times a bestseller. It is a phenomenal book. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big by Dr. David Schwartz. It's got a chapter in here. Let me see, where is it? Chapter 2, Cure Yourself of Excuse-itis, the Failure's Disease. If you buy the book just for chapter 2, it'll change your life. By the way, I'm going to just read you a few of the chapters in here, just the titles. Ready? Chapter 1, believe you can succeed and you will. Chapter 2, cure yourself of excuse-itis, the failure's disease. Chapter 3, build confidence and destroy fear. Chapter 4, how to think big. If you think small, aim and hit. You got a small life, got a small car, living in your small apartment, having a small influence. Chapter 5, how to think and dream creatively. Chapter 6, you are what you think you are. And it seems simple, but it's true. Chapter 7, manage your environment. Go first class. Chapter 8, make your attitudes your allies. Chapter 9, think right towards other people. Get your thinking right. You meet agents and brokers. I hate people. It's like, oh. You meet homeowners sometimes, the sellers and buyers, and you can just tell they despise people. And they're toxic. Like, just say no to them. You're like, oh, I got them. I got Bob. I'm like, you don't want them. If your name's Bob, we're not talking about you. But it's just, you don't want Brent, the angry, toxic home seller who's going to boss you around. No, you don't. You want happy Brent who loves you. So chapter 10, getting the action happen. Chapter 11, getting the action happen. Chapter 11, how to turn defeat into victory. Chapter 12, use goals to help you grow. And chapter 13, how to think like a leader. Chapter after chapter after chapter. It is just phenomenal. This is the stuff that I started reading when I was 19 that helped propel me forward. So I saw your hand. You get that. All right. Barry, I love you. It is your birthday. So this book is kind of a spiritual book, but there's the 5 F's. You know, who can say them? Family, faith, finances, fitness, fun. Family, faith, finances, fitness, and fun.
I'm a 10.
Family. How do you think you succeed in family, right? How do you think you should extend your faith? Like I'm just going to live and suck everything out of this world, die, and go back to earth, and that's it? That's kind of a sad thing. So you get your faith right. Like, I need to work on that. My Utmost for His Highest by Oswald Chambers. This is a phenomenal book. And so Barry's probably already read it, but I'm going to give it to you again.
Yeah.
Over 13 million copies sold. 13 million. I mean, these are rare air books. These are things that I hold here that has helped me and through my journey. And so my Utmost for His Highest, Oswald Chambers. So there you go. Happy birthday, Barry.
Thank you.
Right. The last one. Who got your real estate license within the past month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months ago, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, 6 months ago? All right, my boy. So this is Fanatical Prospecting by Jeb Blount. And it is an awesome book and hardback. This was like $80, but I don't know what it was. Hardbacks aren't cheap though, but this book will change your life. Any book will change your life. You got a total immersion. Okay, so here you go, buddy, and welcome to real estate. Last 5 months ago, you got it.
Yeah, I think it was right before the.
So I'm going to Vacaville this afternoon. He goes, I met with him for coffee Tuesday. He said, "Can I just meet with you?" So we hung out at the Fountains for an hour. He called. I said, "Sure." A lot of you are like, "Well, I'm not going to call Brent. He's too busy." So, but we spent an hour together because he asked. I spent an hour with people who aren't my business. I spent an hour with landscape contractors and talked to them about their business. I help people because that's what people do. Good people love people. So quit saying Krista Proctor's too busy. Chris Okamura's too busy. Rob is too busy. If they're busy, sometimes I say I can't. I turned a guy down next week. I'm at 10X with Grant Cardone. I go, I can't. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. I can't always, right? But you ask. And I go, hey, I get this thing called Animal House yesterday. Won't you come? He came. I said, hey, I'll be leading the team meeting Thursday morning. Won't you come? He came. I said, hey, I'm going to be in Vacaville Thursday afternoon talking to about 80 agents in Vacaville. And what you don't know is I found out last night they have an Olympic athlete who will be there today sharing her story. She grew up with a family of 20 in Georgia, 20 brothers and sisters. Sure, her dad was a pastor, drug him to church, drug him to church, drug him to church. Like, do we really have to do all this work just to go to heaven? And she's like, actually, it really helped me in my life. And she had 20 sisters. Can you imagine that? PK, pastor's kid. She says, I have 127 nieces and nephews. Talk about an expansion model. It might be funner than ours this time. Oh, calm down. Hey, we all know sex isn't fun. So, but this Olympic athlete's going to be there today, Zach. She also just, I might mention this, won 3 gold medals. She's going to share her story of coming from nowhere to go somewhere, and what she learned as a kid, and what her father said to her. And she's going to talk to her about 3 principles her dad taught her. And I watched it on TED Talks, because I don't know about you, but I didn't get the call to be on TED Talks. Did you guys? And she's on TED Talks. As soon as I heard she's going to be there, I looked her up. And Zach's coming. You're going to get to meet her today. I've personally never met a gold medal athlete ever. And I can't wait for her to share. I told the guys, I go, I'm just going to shut up and let her talk as long as she wants. And I'm going to listen. I'm going to try to get more out of it than anyone in the room.
There you go.
Every time you come to a team meeting, don't come here and go, well, Brownie Box, they wrote. No, get more out of the team meeting than everybody. Like, sit up, pay attention. This is your life. My life's good. And I remember when I was frustrated, I remember when The Rock gave me a check for $100 to buy groceries. I went home and handed it to Kathy 27 years ago and cried. And she went, cashed it, and went to the grocery store and bought groceries she's nodding her head, for our 2-year-old and our 4-year-old. We just gone bankrupt. We had no money. I cried. You can make someone cry today. You can give someone $100. Now, Rodney didn't cry. Rodney bought a house in Nashville last week for 1.5 million, but you know, he's gonna light his cigar with my 100, I guess. You know, we've all been there. See, that's what you think. You get these mind thoughts. Like, I felt sorry for myself because I was feeling sorry for myself, and I felt even more sorry for myself. And it's like this thing, and I had panic attacks 12 years ago, maybe 10 years ago, and I had to go see a Christian psychologist, and the guy said, yeah, you're obsessing on it, and it's just your brain secreting this fight or flight thing of this thing to your heart. You think you're going to die, and I remember running out of a hotel room in my underwear because I thought I was going to die. I remember opening windows because I can't even explain it. I said, people, you have a panic attack? What is that? You're weak. I don't have a panic attack until I had one. I'm like, ooh, that's a terrible feeling. The reason I went to him, I was getting on a plane and said, I'm going to open the door at 30,000 feet. I feel like I will open the door, and I don't think it's safe for everyone else on the plane. Do you all agree? I literally felt like that. You're like, what? I go, yeah. So he taught me something that served me well. And he said, when you find yourself starting to panic about public speaking, about doing a listing presentation, about, in your case, claustrophobia, and you can't breathe, and you have this, you're starting to, and you're just going right down the rabbit hole, and it overcomes you. He goes, stop it. Take control of your thoughts. He goes, immediately realize you're doing that and think about the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Then think about sharks. Then think about Johnny Depp and the Pirates of the Caribbean. Then think about the Anatocha they found off the coast of Florida. Think about Mel Fisher. Then think about the museum. Think about some of the greatest museums in the world. Then think about yours. Think about the Louvre. Then think about the Mona Lisa. They said I just went skipping across away from that little panic thing. But when you sit there and think, I'm scared, I'm going to public speak, and you freeze because you're public speaking. Because you're focusing on the fear, and what you get more of, what you focus on expands. So I would focus on being debt-free. I would focus on love, not hate. You ever see people that focus on hate and they get meaner and meaner and meaner than a junkyard dog? And so you can focus on love or hate, light or darkness, giving or taking. And so you're going to take control of up here. I can't, and you can't. Henry Ford said this 100 years ago. If a man or a woman thinks he can, he probably can. And if he or she thinks they can't, they're probably right. Simple, old-fashioned stuff. So what I'm going to do is I came up with 3 simple things for you guys to do today. I got 3, that's it. I want to keep it really, really simple. And something you can focus on. So, number 1, 2023. What's it going to be? It doesn't matter what happens to the interest rates. Doesn't matter what happens to supply. I love low inventory markets. They're my favorite. High inventory markets, been like, I don't know, let's keep looking. Low inventory, like, I got to move. I love the I got to move market. And yeah, but there's multiple offers or blah, blah, blah. And I love multiple offers. I remember when I was new, like you, Zach, and I'm like, oh, there's a competing offer. Oh. And I'd lose, and I hate losing. I'm very competitive. I hope you're competitive. And I hope you have this, because I can't teach this to you. Hunger. I hope you have hunger. I can't teach it to you. I had hunger. A desire to win, not at other people's expenses. I won an offer one time, found out it was one of my students at Remax Gold, and she bawled when she found out who it was. I didn't know it was her client. And I took her client, she wrote another thing and beat her on a deal. I knew I was competing, I didn't know who it was against. Her name is Leisha Heining. And she bawled, and that was it. And I said, you know what? I barely met this guy, showed him one house, wrote the offer. I go, I think it was like a $14,000 commission. I go, just take it. And she's like, no, you can't. And I said, I'm going to. She said, no, I won't accept it. And then close of escrow, I sent the whole thing to her. And the listing agent couldn't believe it. Wow. The whole thing. Because I could see how it just crushed her. And I said, nope, not on my watch. But I was living in a life of abundance, and I had lots of clients. And it was, how did it be in that position? I don't think I told Kathy, sorry, babe. But everybody in this room, everybody watching online wants to be a giver. So if you don't give when you have nothing, you'll never give when you have something. You can give hugs, you can give loves, you can get a word of affirmation. The tongue has the power of life and death. We just say that. Now think about that. Forget about the death sign. The tongue has the power of life. What can you say to your kids when you get home tonight? And the last 2 years for Kathy and I have been amazing. You know, like we live in the Caribbean, of course, right? But we've spent more time together. We're closer than ever. I could say I've never been this happy in my marriage, 31 years in. There was a period where I thought, oh, this is just what it is. I can't change her. She can't change me. It just is what it is. It's not bad. It's fine. It's good. You know, it's good. Now it's exciting. It's great. It's unbelievable. I never knew it could be like this. But we've gone after it. We've been to counseling 100 times. We've gone to relationship events. We went to Tony Robbins' relationship event. I'm sitting there 30 years in going, mind just blown. Like, how could I not know this after 30 years? Well, guess what? I didn't go. I went to some couples weekends, but man, this was like next level. You ever get a chance? Take your spouse and go to a Tony Robbins. He only does them once every 2 years, usually in Kona, Hawaii. They were all masked up and we couldn't go. So we went to Austin, Texas, and it blew my mind. 7 hours a day, 18 to 22 hours a day. We slept 3, 4, 5 hours a night for 7 straight days. Massive input and examples. And he must have done 7 interventions a day. Times 7, 49 couples he did interventions. And the guy's like, yeah, my wife. And then, well, it was over for him. And then the wife would be, my husband's an SOB. It was over her. He didn't like, it was like, Kathy's like, say something. I'm like, I didn't say nothing. Some people would say, oh, yeah, you know, and he would try to be cool about it. He would still, it was like, it was so much fun to watch the interventions. Yeah. But I'm pretty outgoing. Not saying a word, you know, it was amazing. Okay, so 2023, what's it going to be? So it should be a question mark for you. How do you believe in intentionality? Do you like it when your teenage children, your kids are intentional? Your college student is purposeful? You need to be intentional. So here's what 2023 is going to be. It's going to be your best year ever. But what are you thinking about? Are you thinking it's hard? Interest rates are 7%. Inventory's tight. That's not how you have your best year ever. Right. So A, it is going to be my best year ever. It's going to be revolutionary in my marriage, with my kids, with my health, with my finances, with my fun. All work and no play. What are you doing for fun? Go. If you like to hike, hike. If you like to bike, if you like to, kayak. If you like to windsurf and kite surf, do that. If you like to snow ski, what are you doing for fun? You need to detach and get away from your phone and just, that's why I literally, Catholic, did you get my text? I go, no, I've been golfing for 6 hours. Chasing little white balls in the bushes. We're walking around. Where's the little white thing? It's like Easter for grown men. Thank God. I thought it went in the weeds. I thought it went in deep. I was going to take a belly. Oh, Jesus. It's like a spiritual experience. Like, I'm not a Christian. I don't believe in God. You will thank Jesus. Like, I don't care. You will. Okay, now. Okay, so number 1, best year. That's point number 1. Number 2. Number 2 is this. If it's going to be your best year ever, how? Because if you do what you did last year, you're probably just going to have a repeat of last year. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always had. So how do you make it your best year ever? You do what? New things. You do different things than you did last year. You work on your marriage. You work on your faith. Get that book by Oswald Chambers. You work on your family. You work on your business, your finances. Your business is your finances. You're in business to make a profit. And you're going to leave the world a better place. We had a sunrise service on the beach in Maui because we're all leaving Sunday. It was beautiful. I said, hey, we're streaming, grab coffee. I thought there'd be 5 or 10 people. There were like almost 100 people on the beach. Watch the sunrise in Maui. It was beautiful. But when we left, I turned around and noticed there was a cup of coffee over here, a wrapper over here, and some sandals over here. There were like 3 things. It wasn't bad for 100 people. I could have kept going. I walked back 80 feet, grabbed the Starbucks. It was literally a Starbucks coffee sitting there perfectly in the sand. It was empty. Someone forgot. And I picked everything up. And I tried to not only pick up what was ours, but if I see things like, you understand, like pick up, like leave it better than you found it. When someone meets you, do they leave better off for meeting you? Or they feel like you took something from them, right? Now, so 2 new things. So what could that be? So number 1, I want you to go to some RE events, real estate events. I want you to come to Cabo. The mindset shift you'll get by being in Cabo. Cabo sold out. Listen to me, nothing's ever sold out. Zach said yesterday, hey, it's sold out, because we have to be mindful of the capacity of buildings. And all our events get blown out, sold out. P-cars, please don't send so many people. Do you think they're calling other brokerages? Please stop sending all. I guarantee it's never happens. And they tell us, like, hey, if you keep having this many people, you may just have to go somewhere else. Because all the other businesses are starting to freak out because we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people show up to our stuff. Why? Okay. So what are events you're going to go to this year? And 10X, I'll be in 10X next week in Las Vegas. Maybe go to 10X. Why wait? Let me ask you a question. Why wait? Why wait till the end of March, April? Why not light yourself on fire next week at 10X? Well, it costs money. Well, get the money. If you got a really nice car for $15,000 and it's a $16,000 2-year-old GMC Yukon, fully loaded, drop dead gorgeous. They put 5,000 miles on it last 2 years. You can have it for 15 grand. You got to pay me the 15. How are you to find a way to get that car? A 4-wheel drive, gorgeous. I mean, it's worth, well, I'll do that. Would you know you could fly down to Las Vegas next week for $39 on the Southwest or Spirit Air? You may not come back if you want. But you can get down, you can drive down there. You can share a room. I talked Barry into coming, and a boss owns 188 rooms. I go, get your own rooms. You can share. I always share rooms with people. It's fun, someone to hang out with. And you can go to next week. Well, Brent Cardone isn't my cup of tea. There's other speakers. He's one of like 40 speakers. So go to a real estate event and get that switch turned on inside of you. You could be there next week if you wanted to. It's sold out. Nothing's ever sold out. Cabo is sold out. There's no rooms available. You can totally get a room. I went on. There's always somebody who can't go. What I say to you, you said that the Animal House was sold out yesterday. No more. What I say to you?
Ignore the heck out of it.
I would never let sold out stop me from going anywhere. You show up, they will let you in. They will sell you a ticket. Rob, have we, and maybe we have, but because we get a lot of people, have we ever turned anybody away at the door and said, you can't come?
You never let us turn anybody.
I don't freaks me out me saying this, but those go online. Listen to me. These get seen 500 times over. Right? How many events have we had sell out, sold out, can't come?
Almost everyone.
Almost every one of them. And he just said, we never turn anyone away. You can go to 10X next week, it's sold out. Kathy's seat, my seat, 2 seats, $20,000 just for the chairs. Now there are seats further back that are less, right? But if you show up, I guarantee you they'll sell you a ticket. It's sold out right now, but they'll look and go, we got a little room. Okay, slide in there. Do we do the same thing at our events? People no show us and we, you know what? Come on in, we'll sell you a ticket. We'll figure it out. Yeah. Nothing is ever sold out. Is that settled?
Yeah.
Number 2, you got to have running partners. Running partners. So what does that mean? It's your band of brothers. It's the people you can call at 3 a.m. I know I call Barry at 3 a.m. I call Rodney at 3 a.m. I can call Drew. I can call Eric. I could call Rob. There's some people I call and do call 3 a.m. Can't call Johnny as a baby. Valerie, well, shoot, little Jack, baby, Jack will get mad. It's like the Incredibles, little Jack. I love that name, man. Have you seen that? Awesome name. So, but who's your band of brothers? Are you intentional and purposeful about it? Like hardcore crazy. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to run with me for the next 30 days because I need some help. I need some accountability. I need to work out. I need to listen to podcasts, and I have not been doing it. Bigo put on 8 pounds over December. I am a little chunkier, okay? And I'm struggling and failing in that area. So if you want to run with me, and you may not have to work out. You don't necessarily have to work out. You can walk and listen to a TEDx talk. Gene Frederick listens to TEDx talks all the time. He walks on the beach, puts his buds in, turns his phone on, and he just walks down the beach for miles listening to TEDx talks. You do that? So if you want to run with me, but I'm going to hold you accountable because I need you to hold me accountable. So that's part of that partners thing. So if you want to connect with me, come up to me afterwards. I'm asking for your help in my life because I'm going to do this, okay? But it means that for me, I'm going to work out. I'm going to have earbuds in. I'll be listening to Audible. I'll be listening to some TED Talks. I'll be listening to some podcasts. I'll be right. We're going to be doing that stuff. So I just want to say that. So number 2, and finally number 3 on this. Well, number 3 is what I just said. Number 3 is what are the new things you can work out and you can have earbuds in body, mind, and soul. Sometimes I listen to Francis Chan. He's Francis Chan. Lives in San Francisco. He built a mega church, like 5,000 people, but he walked away from the whole thing. He said, I'd rather just do street ministry and just be really simple rather than have this huge church and worry about finances. So he wrote a book called Crazy Love. What a cool book. Read my book, Crazy Hate by Brent Gove, right? Nobody wants to read Crazy Hate. How about Crazy Love? Don't you love it when people love you? Be lovable. If you flip people off going down 65 or 80, they will flip you off back. You get what you get. If people are flipping you off, people flip me off occasionally because I'll inadvertently cut them off. I go, I'm sorry, man. It's not that they flip me. Yeah, I cut them off. I go, hey, man, I'm sorry. Sorry. And they go, it's okay. I said, it's okay. Love you. Love you. So listen to me. They can change my state. They flip me off. I flip them off. I swerve into them. They swerve into me. We speed back. That's road rage. Or I affect my environment for good. When you walked into this room, are you thinking about how you would impact this room? Were you? And every room you ever walk in the rest of your life? Are you a room lifter? All right, I'm seriously, I know I am. I've decided I'm intentional. I am a room lifter. I don't have to talk. I walk in the room, I sit down, I'm going to smile, I'm going to participate, I'm going to take notes. My goal is to get more out of 10x than anybody in there. There'll be 4,000 or 5,000 people in there. I'm going to try to get more than everyone there. I'm going to what can I'm there. You're here, right? Or you can just kind of be here, arms crossed, eyes crossed, legs crossed. Motivate me. Motivate me. You might be beyond hope. I'm on the edge of my seat, man. I'm taking notes. Take notes, even though you listen online. If you scribble what you hear and you never repeat it or read it again, 60% more retention. Always take notes and sit in the front row. Quit hiding in the back at church. Be a front rower. Yes, Rodney.
Well, that was number 4. You need to write it down. Participate.
Yeah, number 4. Okay. I'm at Rodney says participate. Yeah. Use your body. Use your hands. Yes, true.
One thing I want to give to everybody too, because you never told me this, but I'm always around you. So friends and people like me are people that take notes from their notes.
Yes.
I had never seen it before. And I remember being with Brent. I'm like, what are you doing? Seeing all these different little, yellow notepads.
Right.
Yeah. What do you do? He's like, I'm taking notes. But I'm what? I'm taking my notes. It blew my mind.
Take notes. So what I do is I circle. I go back through them. I go, oh, that was really good. Scribble, scribble. Oh, that was really good. Oh, that was really good. That was good. Oh, that was really good. And I circle it. I'm like, oh, that was incredible. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. I mean, I go crazy. I go crazy with asterisks. Like I never want to forget this one line. I never want to forget it. And then what I do is I teach it. You can go next step. You can teach it to your kids. You can teach it to your agents. You can Hey, if you want to say, hey, I just got some notes from Tony Robbins, UPW. I got 9 things. It'll help you. Okay, finally, number 3, there were only 3 things. And number 3 things, goals. Are you a meaningful, specific, or a wandering generality? Which is it? You're one or the other. Goals have to be written in your handwriting, not typed. They must be written in your sloppy handwriting. I scribble mine out all the time. Drew, can you go get the picture off the wall in my office? You know the one I'm talking about?
Yep.
Don't tell them. They must be written and they must be dated, time-stamped, such sense of urgency. They help you focus. You're a wandering generality or a meaningful specific. So this is your moment. Rob, can you hand out everyone a sheet of paper? It's right there. Drew has it right there on his phone. We have a sheet of white paper. Every one of you are going to list your daily, weekly, and monthly goals for the rest of this year. And you're going to sign it. You're going to take a picture of it when you're done. You're going to sign it and you're going to date it. And I'm going to collect it. I'm going to read your goals. I'm going to see how big you're thinking, how small you're thinking. I'm going to see what you're about, and I'm going to actually call you back and ask you how it's going. And so this is your moment to what? Have the best year ever, the best year of your life. So I'm going to take you through a goal setting process and we'll be done. Bring this up here, Drew. Come on up. So I don't ask you to do anything I don't do, but these are my goals that were so profound. We framed them under glass. Go ahead, Johnny, you might fix that. It's under glass. There's lights on this at the office. It's hanging up proudly. These were just me at Perco's coffee shop at Panera. I don't know where I was, Starbucks. I got a yellow notepad, and I'm just scribbling out goals right here. Just me and a yellow notepad and coffee. This was back September 5th, 2017. What were you doing September 5th, 2017? I was sure I was at some coffee shop. I do my best thinking at a coffee shop with a cup of coffee. And I go, you know what? I'd like to have 50 plus agents that I've sponsored by September 30th, 2017. I hit 49. I remember the goal. I did not hit 50, I hit 49. But I said, I give myself a deadline. I want to have 75 by December. And by the end of the year, I want 1,200 agents. I had 875. I did not have 1,200. I missed every single goal on that page. But by the way, I've hit every one of them since then because I didn't give up. I kept pushing forward. And then by March, I wanted 100 plus agents at sponsor. I wanted 1,500 in my group by February, 2,100 by June 1st, 2018, 2,900, 3,900, 5,800. 15,000 by December 31st, and 30,000 by December 31st, 2020. I wanted 30,000 agents in 3 years. I have 35,000 agents today. I was intentional. I sold as little real estate as I possibly could to pay my bills. I wanted my time to be a compounding thing. You could spend money or you can learn the 8th wonder of the world, compounding interest and compounding effort. You may build an awesome real estate team, you get 400 sales a year like I did, and have 45 agents. But picture, anyone ever been on the Pirates of the Caribbean? You ever seen that pirate on, he's kind of drunk. He's on like a barrel of beer and he's playing, what is he playing in between his hands? An accordion. And he goes in and out, in and out. People sell 1,500 homes a year. They go back to 900 homes a year. They go to 2,200 homes a year. They go down to 600 because half their team left. They go down to 200. I've seen it happen. It's an accordion. All the people with big teams, they're at EXP doing this. But I'm not good at this. I can't do this. That's your head. You need to read the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And guess what? You are totally right. You can't do it because it's like, I'm going to miss this shot. I'm not going to help you make it. When I'm putting, and I've had moments, I'll just hit a bad shot and I'll miss it. How'd you miss that? I go, I totally knew I was going to miss it. and so I missed it. And just because you say you're going to make it doesn't mean you're going to make it. What do you say to your kids? Picture missing the shot. Picture not graduating from college. Picture doing nothing with your life and hitting the goal. Is that what you say to your kids? No, say it to yourself. It's not positive Pollyanna this. But I'm telling you what, man, any high-level professional athlete, I guarantee you this woman today, Ruthie, who won 3 gold medals, I'm going to ask her, what did you tell yourself when you were a kid? What were the thoughts you had? What did you do in the dark when nobody was working? That's why I need accountability. I'm struggling right now in that area. I'm going to ask if you're up. Whoever wants to run with me, we'll run. But here's the deal. Then I wrote out the people I was going to talk to. And I had to white out some people. And then I did 40. That's under here. And this went with me everywhere. Everywhere. This went with me. Look at them. They're rattled. They're torn. There's coffee on them. They went everywhere. I looked at them 30 times a day. Do you look at your goal 30 times a day? Literally, Kathy and I can do anything we want today. We've helped, Jay Kinder just bought a jet. That's one of our agents. He bought a jet, 9-seater, just bought it. That's one of our agents that we built. That's kind of cool when you can help someone, they're making it enough to be able to do that. Other people give money. Someday, hopefully I'll have a jet. We travel a lot and we've been stuck in airports. We've missed flights. And it's not, do I want a jet? I told Kathy, if we ever get a jet, we're never posting a single picture online. I don't want it to be, check out my Rolls Royce jet. It's not what it's about. For us, it's when we want to go to Costa Rica, we have to fly to Miami, then down to Costa Rica. We live right across the pond, but there's no flights to Costa Rica. If I get in our plane, we're there. And so why do you have a car and not a bicycle? Right? It's transportation, right? And your car, so maybe you have a $10,000 car because that's acceptable to you and what you expect to drive. You have a $60,000, $70,000 these days with inflation, $80,000 GMC Yukon, Chevy Tahoe, fully loaded, but it's acceptable to you. It's what you drive. So here are the goals, and then all these goals. We went all the way down to 100,000 agents, December 31st. 2029. I set 10-year goals. What are your 10-year goals? What does your life look? Were you intentional? Did you set goals what your life would look like in 10 years? I have. You should. Are you intentional about what people will think of you in 500 years? You're going to be a matriarch. Mother Teresa's a matriarch. You be a patriarch. Martin Luther King's a patriarch. How will people remember you? He was a great carpenter. Jesus was a carpenter. But look what he did with 12 people, a band of brothers, who went out 1 by 1, 2 by 2, who had to shake the dust off their sandals when they got rejected. Some of you need to shake them. You can't keep thinking about, hey, Jesus gave them a pep talk. You 12, shake the dust off your sandals, move on to the next town. Forget it. They didn't receive you. Just move on. It's not their time. We don't hate them. We don't despise them. We're moving on. You with me?
Yeah.
And so this is your moment. So I want you to put daily goals. And here's the daily goal I want to see on your paper. Some of you have already started. You can turn it over if you want or keep going. How many people will you contact today? It's a contact board. I want you to ask every single person about commercial real estate. You only ask about residential. You can refer that person to Paul Frank. He's done billions in commercial. One of our agents got a $1.2 million referral fee check on a commercial deal. 1.2 million referral fee check. That was 25% of the commission. The commission was $5 million commission. Is that a good commission? How many like 25% of $5 million? It changed your life, but you don't ask people about commercial because you're not a commercial agent. Everyone watching, you're all commercial agents. You say, I have a partner. His name is Paul Frank, or whoever you want. Anyone watching this nationwide, you can use Paul Frank. He does commercial all over America. He's an EXP agent. You can use a Cushman & Wakefield commercial agent. Maybe you'll sponsor him in the EXP. You can use a Coldwell Banker's agent. Keller Williams. You can use, whoever you want. It doesn't even matter. I'm the expert in residential. Paul Frank's the expert in commercial. Do you have a building you want to buy or sell? They may not have a home. No, I'm in my forever home. We're good. I've been here 10 years. I'm never moving. All right. Well, let me know if you maybe have anyone you from you leave. By the way, there's an old movie called Columbo. Any old people here? He goes, oh, by the way, did you kill your wife? No, he did these. He did at the very end. So you go, by the way, you don't have a building you want to buy or sell, or maybe buy a building or someone, do you? No. I know it's crazy. Just one last thing. Did you kill your wife? No. He goes, one last thing. Do you have a business you want to buy or sell? Matter of fact, we want to retire and go to Coeur d'Alene. My dental practice, I'm looking to sell right now. I'm really not sure how to go about it. Oh, I'm going to put you in touch with Paul Frank. He's my business partner. He's an expert. He's done billions of commercials. Would you like to call Paul? He'll tell you what your practice is worth. Are you going to be curious what your business is worth? They're really not sure. You get Paul Frank's foot in the door and you get a 25% referral fee. Commercial commissions are bigger than residential. You can get 30, 60, 90, $200,000, $1.2 million referral fees. Stop just thinking buy or sell. I need you to do three things. Anyone who want to buy or sell real estate? Good. Anyone who wants to buy or sell a building? Good. Anyone who wants to buy or sell a business? Good. They say, no, no, no. There's a one contact. Takes a second. So, and you do that. I really want to encourage you. You can do that 5 times a day. You do it 10 times a day. Maybe you're so gripped with fear, you can only do it once a day. Start there. Maybe 3 times a day, maybe 5, maybe 10. You do 10 a day for 10 days, that's 100 people. At the end of a month, you'll talk to 300 people. You'll have buildings that are listed. You'll have businesses for sale or people who are going to buy. I've sold Taco Bell's. I've sold Carl's Jr.'s. I've done, and I've earned I didn't do it. My commercial partner did, but I got referral fees on fast food franchises because I asked that question. And they want to get out of real estate and do what's called a triple net lease. See, I barely know the words. And I just, hey, I'm the expert at residential. So how many contacts that you're going to do, write it down, become purposeful and intentional. And let's say that's 5. So you're going to do, and if you do it 5 days a week or 6 days a week, that's 25 a week, maybe 30. Let's say you do it 5 days a week. Now it adds up. So you got to focus daily. Don't worry about the daily. I'll do 5. I'll do 10. If it's 10, you do it 5. That's how many a week? 50. How many a month? On a 4-week month, it's 200. Had you, those of you online, had you done that for the last 30 days, you talked to 200 people, you would be in a different financial position today. You'd have hope in your heart. You wouldn't feel beat up. You have not because you ask not. You're not asking people. You're not. It is a math problem. It doesn't matter. The man or the woman who does that doesn't matter if they have a big nose or a small nose. If they have a lot of hair or no hair. If they have a beard or no beard at all. If they're tall or skinny, short, overweight, whatever. It's units of work. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Matter of fact, we own a vineyard up in Auburn. And we want to sell that. Then we're going to sell our home next fall. And we're going to move to Coeur d'Alene. We're going to move to Austin, Texas. We're going to move to Nashville. I just made a referral to Nashville. Rodney. Rodney bought a house in Nashville. How much was it, Rodney?
Well, it was a great deal.
He's the one to say.
1.5.
$1.5 million. Is that a good referral fee? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
And the guy who helped them, Jay Nelson, says they're going to fix it up. It's got $1 million of built-in equity immediately. Jay's like, I'm going to make him $1 million. I'm going to make him $1 million. Jay was so excited because if he doesn't buy, I will buy this thing. You need to say that, by the way, when you're with a client, you find them a great deal at $300,000 on a condo, at $500,000 on a house, or $1 million. You look at me. You don't buy this. I'm going to buy this house. This is a good deal. They need certainty. They're nervous. You look them in the eyes. Now, if it's a cruddy house, don't do that. Then it's a slimy sales timeshare technique. You with me? That's not what we're about. But when you know that you ever done it? Like, this is a good deal. Like, I don't know. America's favorite pastime is manana. They're nervous. Are you with me? So what are your daily? What are your weekly? What are your monthly? Just take the daily, multiply it times 5 or 6. You shouldn't work 7 days a week. You will be less productive working 7 days a week. If you work 7 days a week right now, you are blowing it. Take Sunday off, or take Wednesday off, or take Friday off, or take Saturday off. Do not work 7 days a week. It is unhealthy. There's been study after study done. You'll get burned out. I can't. You want to be effective? Work 4, 5, 6 days a week, but do not work 7. God, the Alpha and the Omega, whether you believe in God or not, I do. And it says on the 7th day, he rested. This is God. There's a good model to follow. So maybe you take Wednesdays off. Maybe you take Fridays off. You can take a day off and lay by your pool. I don't have a pool. You might have one soon. If you take a day off, how do I get a pool by taking a day off? Follow God's plan, right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to, and then if you do those contacts, set a goal. I'm going to sell a house a week. Do you have a goal to sell a house a week? Not really. I'd like to sell just one this month. We certainly won't sell the one this week if you don't have a goal to sell a house this week. They're specific, they're written. And then maybe for you, like one a month is cool. But for some of you, if you do 200 contacts, it's possible for you to sell in the month of March 3 or 4 homes easily. If you're making $10,000 a house, that's $30,000 to $40,000 of income. It would change your life, but you got to step up. It's now. So these are my 3 steps, and you're going to finish filling out the sheet of paper. Those of you online, I hope you did it at home. You can email me, brent@brentgove.com. I won't get it because I never check email. So you'd have to text me, 916-223-5555. Take a picture, text it to me. But I want to read your written goals, sign your name, put your phone number. Sign it. I want a signature, and I want you to also print it. Because my signature gets scribbly, and I look at it, I may not be able to read your signature. Print it clearly, put your cell phone number. I'd like to read your goals. I'd like to know what you're thinking inside here and inside here. And I'm telling you, 2023 can and will be the best year of your life. I went a little over today. I've never gone this far over ever in 24 years of doing these team meetings. This is the longest I've ever gone. Rob, have we ever gone this far?
Never.
We're in uncharted territory. We are, but here's the deal. I think that those of you online in here, that your life matters. I want to see your goals. And if you want to personally help me in my health journey and double dip, body, mind, and soul, I'm going to be listening to Crazy Love on tape again. I'm going to be doing, I'm not doing enough, and because I'm not going to the gym, I'm not doing enough. So I want to do body, mind, and soul. You can get it done in the morning at 6 a.m. Now, I might be doing it at 6:30 in Puerto Rico or 7. You know what time that is for you? 7 a.m. is 3 a.m. for you guys. So at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night, I will be at the gym. So we're going to find some way to do accountability. It'll be a Zoom. We'll all be able to see each other. And there might just be me and 2 other people, maybe me and 12 other people. It doesn't even matter. But I want to see your face. I want you to enter the Zoom room. You're going to lift the Zoom room. Just sit on Zoom and chew and talk on the phone and do other stuff. We're watching you. It's super distracting. Final note, when you're on Zoom, it matters what's behind you.
Nice.
I saw someone who's very successful and has hundreds and hundreds of agents. He was in a garage. I was horrified. And there was just crap everywhere all behind him. I was shocked. So I'm going to say this, those who are online, it matters what's behind you. I don't live in a nice house. I'm in a garage. Blur the background.
Yeah.
Right, Rob?
Yeah.
You can click on your name and then go to the dots that say more and then hit blur background. And then it looks cool. So we don't want to see your laundry.
Right.
We don't want to see someone walk into your house without a shirt on. You know, we don't want to see your dog dragging his fanny across the road. I think that was for the top. We're going to edit the last part out. But anyways, I love you guys. I want 2023 to be the best year of your life. And it's not me, it's you. I'm all for you. God is all for you. Everybody in this room are we all for each other? Yeah. Find running buddies, do these 3 steps. And I can't wait to get your goals. And if you want to personally help me in my journey, I'll help you in yours, but I need help. I am not doing well currently in that area, having just put on 8 pounds over Christmas. I don't want to be here. So I'm asking for help. Love you guys. Have a good day. Thank you.
Right online. Thanks for being there. See you next week.